Hey, Punk Uncle here. Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, my van, Charlotte, is right behind me, and we are doing some more upgrades to her today. In the process of turning her into the ultimate adventure rig, there are lots of upgrades and jobs to be done, but what I'm doing today is something I think a lot of people doing van builds don't put a lot of thought into, but probably should. So hit subscribe and like, stick around. We're going to get into all of that right now. I'm at US Tint and Shadow Enterprises in Fresno, California, and we are getting the windows on Charlotte tinted today. Good morning. I'm here with Jacqueline, who does sales at US Tint and Shadow Enterprises. And when I was talking to her about the different films and things that you can do to your windows, I learned something that I didn't know, and I think probably a lot of people are in the dark about as well. That's that even if you have factory tint on your windows, which I do on the side windows on my van, it doesn't mean that it has any UV protection or any heat resistance. So I had no clue about that. I thought if your windows came tinted, cool, that's something else you don't have to do, but that actually isn't necessarily the case. So living in the Central Valley of California, we have really hot weather in the summer, and we just had last weekend, it was 113 both days. So I mean, it gets nasty. These vans are big boxes that heat up like ovens. They're really hard to cool down with your air conditioning. And the other thing is that the windows are really large. So like just the surface area of the windows are bigger. There's more sun coming in. There's more sun hitting you, your skin. And with everything we know now about UV rays and skin cancer and all that stuff, there's just a multitude of reasons why you should probably look into this, and especially if you're driving a van like this with huge windows all over it. So my main goals are to not get skin cancer and also to try to keep my van a little bit cooler. So there are different types of films that we can choose from, right?
Yes, so we're a Lumar Select Pro dealer, which means all of our film is the Lumar Formula 1. There's 3 different tiers of film. So it starts with the dyed material, which is a very standard film that a lot of places carry. We have our ceramic film, which I would say is the most popular. It's made with nano ceramic technology, and it's important to note that because not all ceramic film is made with nano ceramic. Nano ceramic allows it to get a higher heat rejection and not be at risk of fading. And then we have our specialty film called Stratos. That's an infrared material. It's made with the same nano ceramic film, but it actually has more layers of the film compressed together so that when the heat hits it, it bounces around more times, so that by the time it passes through the glass, it is a lot cooler. It's able to block out in the 90% of infrared light, which is what brings in the majority of heat to your car.
We are gonna do ceramic on my windows, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then the other thing we talked about, and I think we're gonna do, is the windshield. And this is something that I think probably a lot of people skip over, I'm guessing.
Yeah, a lot of people definitely don't think they can get their windshield tinted, especially because of nighttime vision. They think that window tint has to have color to it, but now with the ceramic film, we know that we can have a clear film that's going to be able to block out heat and UV and still allow for great visibility.
So I'm going to get a full clear film over my windshield, which is massive. And I think that's going to help a ton. So with that clear film, am I still going to get some heat rejection or just UV protection?
Yeah, so because it's clear, it's not obviously going to be able to get as high as like a 5%, which would be considered a limo tint. But it is going to get about 43% heat rejection, as well as the same 99% UVA and UVB protection that all of our film comes with.
Okay, so with a window that big, I'm thinking 43% reduction in heat shouldn't be a noticeable difference. So that's what I'm going for, and that's what we're going to put on.
We can pull up any vehicle we want that's on this program, load it in the ProMaster 2500 cargo van, and then it'll give us all the patterns for all the windows. So less cutting on the vehicle, more consistency, and then it also has for paint protection. So if you want to, like you use that vehicle off road a lot, riding stuff, it's already cut out, so there's less cutting on the vehicle for the paint protection to protect the paint. Add the cut board. That'll That'll be your quarter windows, and we can just go ahead and cut it. Go right over the plotter and basically cut it out. Exact size that we need for the quarter window. It's quicker, more consistent.
Super cool.
So right now I'm shrinking the film to mold the outside of the windshield. So what that does is it gives me a good pattern. That way I can stick it inside. Everything is applied on the inside, not the outside. I'm just molding the pattern for the windshield.
I'm cleaning the inside of the windshield for him to apply the film to.
As you just saw, the process is actually probably a little more technical and complicated than many of us have always thought window tinting is. But it was really cool to go in and get a really first-hand look at the way this happens and just how much the technology has come along, not only in the film, the window films themselves, but in the process that they use to cut and really accurately pattern them so that the fit is really good. So I've got Charlotte back, and I've been driving it around a little bit since I got the windows done, and I can, I wanted to put a little bit of time in before I finished up the video and gave you my conclusion. And what I can say is that overall I'm really happy I did this. When your vehicle sits out in the sun and it's over 100 degrees, I'm not going to tell you that, oh yeah, my car doesn't get hot on the inside now. Of course it does. Where I really notice the difference is driving around when it's hot. Once I get the interior cooled off, it stays cool a lot easier. So I find that once it's cool, the heat that's radiating in and coming through the windows isn't so much that the air conditioning can't keep up. In fact, I'll blast the air, get it cold, and then I can back it down to where it's not so noisy and the fan's not running so high, and I could not do that before I got the windows done. On a really hot day, I could put my hand, maybe 6 inches, 10 inches from the windshield, and I could just feel this wall of heat. And now, with that film that I got on the front, I'm really glad I did that, because I'll put my hand up there when I'm driving just to check, and it feels fine. So I know it's doing its job, and then of course the UV protection was something I was really wanting to have as well. So overall, I'm really happy I did it. I hope this inspires, someone either doing a van build or just with any vehicle to understand how important this can be, especially if you live in an area like I do. So thanks for sticking around and watching the video. Thanks for checking it out. Keep tabs on what we're doing with Charlotte and this build as we continue this series of videos. Please hit subscribe and like, and we will see you on the next one.